Step back.
Because guess what? The people you've been learning the Bible from, they've been lying to you.
Step back.
The storm is here. When we come, one, we go all. No one can stop what is coming. Get here, guys. We need to in Minnesota. These people are fucking terrorists.
Hey, church, get out here. We need the backup. And all you liberal commie motherfuckers, keep your hands to yourself. You're gonna get hurt today, alright? We executed one of you yesterday. We executed one of you yesterday. You understand that?
What brought me here today is the violent acts of ICE. You know, it's very similar to the violent acts of the Minneapolis Police Department that have been used with extreme force against Black, Hispanic, and Native American people. And what is peculiar about today is the violence that happened has actually happened to one of their own people. And this is not about being racist, it's about actually addressing something that has something to do with race, because that's why ICE is here. They're coming after immigrants, right? So-called immigrants. They're coming after people of different ethnicities. And today, well, yesterday, one of their own people of their own ethnicity was actually unalived.
You know, the Trump administration, especially the Homeland Security, described this shooting as a self-defense.
Oh,
how do you think about it?
Well, you know what? They always say it's self-defense. They said the same thing with Philando Castile. They said the same thing with what's my man's name over here that just passed away? They've been saying that for generation after generation and unaliving people. The truth is this: Trump knows what he's doing. When he said he wanted to make America great again, it had nothing to do with the inner city people, the Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. That's why Commander General Yohanna, the ISUPK, is so important in this earth. And the truth is so important to get out here to the people, because it's the only way that we could protect ourselves against these domestic terrorists who are now trapping, kidnapping children, women, and splitting up families, and then saying we did it in self-defense. We did it because we're so afraid. Well, this is my question to Trump. This is my question to everybody out there. What are you so afraid of? You have the Army, you have the Navy, you have the nuclear bombs, you have everything that you want. You got the oil, you got the titanium, you have all of the chips that anybody could have for weaponry. We have nothing but each other. But somehow we always seem to be the ones who are unalived in the streets. And it's always self-defense. They said it was self-defense when they went over there and kidnapped the president of Venezuela. I mean, when is the last time that any president has just said somebody owes me and went and kidnapped somebody, their wife and their family? So it's just getting out of control.
Can I ask your name and age?
Yes, you can. My age, I have to keep it undisclosed. I can't do that personal, but my name is Kunaya Alabanya Sha'alabanya Hawada. I'm from the Israelite School of Practical Knowledge off of 125th 1 West, Harlem, New York. Since 1969, we've been going all over the country and outside the country, telling people the truth about us being the true Israelites. And I just want to say one last thing, if I can. I want to thank you guys for coming out and doing the work that you guys did, because it's very important that people in other countries know and understand that we all ain't trying to attack you, and we don't want to unalive anybody in other countries. All we want to do is be left to our people and be restored to who it is that we are, our language, our land, and our true heritage.
That's right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. You have a good day.
Thank you.
Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The ISUPK, under Commanding General Yohanna, presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. All Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person, ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General Yohana. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.
All right, clap it up. All right, Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahushua Brakatham to the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shamar, Allah Ta'ala Shem Yahushua to the sisters. ISUPK Minnesota with the brotherhood class. Hey, first things first, I just want to say, Salakia to the brothers and sisters, man, who's been waiting for class to come on. Salakia just run into, some technical difficulties as well as transportation issues. But, of course, the show must go on, and we are here. All right? No excuses, of course. Let me see here. Okay. So, yeah, Salakia for that. Bear with me. Okay. That transportation is something else. But let me see here. Let me check this. Okay. Most High in Christ, we set. We good. All right. Push out a little bit. Okay. All right. Yeah, so it's going to be a little short of a class, but it's the while, but we're still going to rock and roll. All right. If anybody got any questions or concerns, please type it into the chat. Okay. Let me see here. All right. And once again, this is ISUPK Minnesota. We are located in the Twin Cities. Pay your tithes. These classes are for so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian brothers and sisters. You are the 12 tribes of Israel. If you do not already know, you are God's chosen people according to the Bible. All right. And if you do not know that, you might want to speak with your pastor, your deacon, your bishop, because they hid some information from you that you should have known your entire life. Because you knowing that you are an Israelite, there's power in that. And once you understand how powerful it is, of course, you got to live the lifestyle of how the Lord wanted you to be, which is to be an Israelite, which is be a child of his. So once again, if you are a so-called Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian descent on your dad's side, on your father's side, you are one of God's chosen people. All right. And it's undeniably, it's undeniable. Okay. Now you see the topic on the screen, which is, keeping the commandments. We are going to dive into that just a little bit here on the topic of brotherhood and sisterhood and why this is so important. Okay. Why this is very important. So without further ado, we are going to get right into it. Once again, if anybody got questions or concerns, please type it into the chat, because based on the question you may have, somebody else may have the same question as well, but just probably too shy to ask the question. Okay? Don't be shy now. This is not the Christian church. In the church, you can't ask questions. They will shut you down and continue to sing and dance and run up and down the aisle of the church and get to slap it on the tambourine, banging on the drums and singing and screaming about nothing. That is not in the Bible. Now, however, you can sing, you can rap, you can play music, but that's not what it means to worship the Most High. And we are going to get into that. This topic about keeping the commandments, we are going to dive into that. All right, so y'all stay tuned. So, once again, pay them tithes, man. Also, to pay those Passover fees. Hey, $200, 17 and older per family. Okay, for the adults. Children are free, but for the adults, $200 per person who's 17 and older. All right, let's get it, man. Okay. Hey, Shalom, how about you? Oh, Salakia. Oh yeah, Shalom, warrior. How you doing, Okay, so let's get it, man. We are going to get into Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 13, and this is going to be in the New Testament, not Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, but Ecclesiastes. Okay, y'all bear with me as I get there. Now, I know we don't have a whole lot of time. We got about an hour or so, so we are just gonna, not really rush, but really get a little bit of dialogue with each, a few precepts. All right. Where am I? Salakia. All right. Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 13. Now, okay, I'm going to explain the reason why we're bringing this out, okay? Because first things first, in order to understand what it means to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, we have to understand the importance of it and why we do what we do when it comes to keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. All right? Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. So let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Now, of course, this is King Solomon who wrote the book of Ecclesiastes. Wisdom of Solomon, Songs of Solomon, and Ecclesiasticus and the Apocrypha as well, right? So remember that in this time that this book is being written, this is showing the aftermath of King Solomon. He's now older. He's writing about his experience and his wisdom of being a king and the things that he have seen as well. Not only that, he's giving you wisdom and advice. He's giving you a sense of counsel. All right. Oh, and also too, King Solomon is behind the book Proverbs as well. Okay. So when it says, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter, fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. So when you read this chapter, which is a very, very great, deep chapter, right? Very great. When you read this chapter, you start to see the examples of what he has seen in the world, of his experience being a king and traveling the world, partying, having wives, so on and so forth. And he's speaking about his point of view, his experience. But at the end of the day, he said, let's like when he says, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter, meaning like, let's not forget, let's focus, let's understand what the main objective is. And whatever you do in life, always understand what is very, very important. The Most High is always important. How you live your life, you have to surround the law, statutes, and commandments as far as your life. Like in your everyday life, that is supposed to be your guide. That's supposed to be your foundation. Otherwise, life is going to be up and down for you. You are going to, stumble all over the place. Because when you don't have a foundation to stand on, you're going to fall through. They are, what's the famous saying that people say in the world? If you don't stand for something, you're going to fall for anything. And that's very true. Some of those statements that people in the world speak about is very true. Okay? Because that's life. If you don't have standards or morals, your life is out of order. That's why with the law, statutes, and commandments, when you live by them, when you teach them, you are, I just lost train of thought. You are leading by example. You are living by example as well, so to speak. Long story short, okay? Like it makes life easier. Not saying that you're not going to go through anything. You will. You will go through something. And that's going to be all your life. From when you're born and until you're in the grave. You're always going to have trials and tribulations. But what's really important is, how do you go about it? How do you attack what's attacking you? These laws, statutes, and commandments is one of those things that really governs our life. It shows us how to conduct ourselves, how to live, how to eat, how to it's like how to speak, how to treat one another, how to handle any situation that comes your way. And we know too that the Most High said, like, he will never give you too much that you can't handle, and he will make a escape for you. I want to say that's 1 Corinthians with Paul. Okay, that's what it is. All right. But of course, at the same time, if you're not living by the law, statutes, and commandments that the Most High ordained us and commanded us to keep, then you're making your situation harder. All right. You're making it more tough on you. No one else is doing that but you. Sometimes you may ask yourself, why am I always in trouble? Why am I always going through this and going through that? Why do I always have relationship problems or problems in my everyday relationships with other people? Okay, how come no one likes me? How come, everybody want to fight me? You have to look at the way that you are living your life. You can't walk around here being careless, because you're going to find yourself in a terrible, terrible situation again and again. Also, I think my favorite quote or statement from people in the world is, man, I got to start over. I gotta move out of town, because all the stuff that I'm going through in Minnesota, it's just, I can't seem to get away from it. Well, if you're going through all the troubles in one state and you move to another state to try to start over, just understand, whatever you had going on here that was unsolved, those demons are going to follow you to the next place. That's how it works. So you don't have to move nowhere else. All you have to, you just might, maybe, but what you need to focus on is your way of life, the way that you are living. Just look in the mirror and look at your situations and look at yourself and say that you are the problem. You are the filth. That's what you have to say to yourself. You have to be honest and upfront with yourself. Negroes are always talking about keep it 100. Yeah, you got to keep it 100 with yourself. Otherwise, you're always going to end up in the situation every single time. But hold on 1 second. Doing the Lord's commandment to give us life, sir. I was teaching that in the Buffalo Library today, sir. It's a lot. Damn right. And that brother's absolutely correct. That's one body. Absolutely. The law, statutes, and commandments give you life. And the water for that, brother. I do appreciate that. You're absolutely right. He said it better. You know what I mean? Yeah. The law, statutes, and commandments, it gives you life. And that's why you want to apply it to your life. And the laws is not grievous, meaning it's not hard to do. You know it's not hard to stop eating shrimp, crab, and lobster, right? And that that pork that you love so much. It's not hard to do. My thing is this though, what are you willing to do? What are you willing to sacrifice for the betterment of you and your people? And better yet, to obey the Most High. Because if you're doing what the Most High tells you to do, man, the Most High has your back. The Most High is going to bless you. He's going to reward you. And he's going to protect you from all the possible dangers that are out here. I mean, look, you're not even safe in your own home anymore. I mean, well, really, you never was. Being in captivity makes you a target. It makes you a target in so many ways, because sin is at your door. Sin is on your phone. Sin is on your TV screen. I mean, like, sin is, when you look outside, sin is everywhere. You probably a brother or a sister. You probably a brother or a sister who's been dealing with drug addiction. You can't even go down the street or even go to the back alley, to the corner store or to a grocery store without seeing a sack of weed, a sack of pills on the ground. Sin surrounds us. It's everywhere. Okay? But the law, statutes, and commandments help you fight against sin. That's the purpose of it. If there's something in this world that is not of the Lord, it is of Satan. It is of Shaitan, whether you know it or not. Now, I'll give you an example, right? Satan's job is to keep you to be disobedient, to keep you in a place where you are a slave to sin, to your flesh. And ultimately, what that does is it separates that bond between you and the Lord, you and the Most High, to be exact. Okay? Now, if you're not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, you're not serving the Most High. You're serving somebody else. And we know what the Lord has done, is still doing, and what he has said about the children of Israel serving a God that is not him, a power that is not him. The Most High is a jealous God. He's jealous because you're giving somebody else attention. Just like how a woman is probably, gets jealous. When you as a man, you giving another woman attention. When she wants all the attention, right? Just think of jealousy in that sense. Okay? The Most High finds it disrespectful. He finds it as a slap in the face when you decide to worship and obey another God when, honestly, there is no other gods. The Most High is the only living power. Everyone else is imaginary. There's something that you created. Now, I feel weird being around people in the world that serve a God that they created. That's weird as hell. Okay? Because you make up all your rules. You don't, my thing is this though, it's like you creating your parents and you tell your parents what to do and how to live. And you co-sign and say, well, according to my God, according to my parents, I can do X, Y, and Z. Who said that? Who told you that? And then also too, we all serve the same God is what they say as well. That's not true. No. If everybody on this earth worship the same God, right, and serve the same God, then why is everybody's perspective of what God said so different? Because the Bible says to be in one body, one spirit, one baptism. That's the opposite. Because to be in one body, one spirit, and one baptism, we all are on the same page. Okay? No matter how you, no matter what your personality is, no matter, your traits, we all think the same. We all speak the same language. We all move the same according to the Most High. That lets you know that everybody doesn't serve the God that you serve. Now, somebody do serve God, yes, because God is just a title. Excuse me, my bad. I probably need some damn water. But no, not everybody serves the same God, man. Because everybody's rules and regulations, guidelines, records seem to be different. Okay? And it's so simple to know if someone serves the same God as you based on how they start speaking and how they start living their life. As soon as you see somebody smoking weed, doing drugs, smoking cigarettes, part of the LGBT, ABC community, you know that y'all don't serve the same God. They are far from God. But they can get closer to the Most High if they apply these scriptures, apply these laws, statutes, and commandments, and repent. So, getting back to the point, right? Let me see. Being disobedient to the Lord will make us afraid of the oppressors, because this warfare is spiritual and not carnal. The water, thank you. That's another precept. How our warfare is not carnal. Okay, but it is spiritual, however. Okay? Because to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments is spiritual. That's what it is. Okay? Excuse me, Salaki. I think this damn weather over here bothering me, but good night. But no, that's absolutely right, Doc. That's the point. Okay? Our warfare is not carnal. It's not a weapon, okay? This is not our fight right here. This is not our fight right here. Our fight is getting off of drugs. Our fight is stopping, your flesh from doing something evil. Your fight is not putting your penis or your rod inside of someone else's woman. Like, goddamn, do you want that man? All right? You have homo? Like, you must want that man. You want to get close to that man because you want his woman. Like, bruh, fix your eyes on someone who is available and not taken. I don't know what it is, but like I remember seeing that interview with Nick Cannon. He said that he loves messing with women that got a man because he says it's like a challenge for him. You are a weirdo, and people are sick in the head and have homo. Very effeminate. Okay? Like, come on, man. Like you as a grown man, you wanna run behind someone else's woman? You wanna put your rod inside of a woman where this other man who she's married to, this man has done all manner of nastiness to this woman in that bedroom. But you want that man's woman for what? Yes, something's wrong with you. You have an illness and you are sick. But however, every time someone is sick, there is something that we can help with sickness, right? It's called medicine. And that's the laws for you. That's the statutes and that's the commandments. Because what the law, statutes, and commandments will teach you is that you should not deal with another man's wife. All right? And the laws will tell you that you can have multiple wives. But don't try to make a multiple wife out of your brother's wife. That you cannot do. Otherwise, you will suffer the consequences. And a lot of brothers have suffered the consequences and lost their life behind it. Sisters and lost their lives too, over there trying to whore. All right? How many stories do we hear about all the time in the hood, on TV, on social media, how a brother or a sister lost their life because they were having unlawful sex. They was having unlawful sex and having sex with someone that was not their partner. Okay? But test the waters, test the flames, if you will. And just see what happens, man. Because it happens all the time. There's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing different that you can do. It's when it comes to being a disgusting sinner. You're always going to suffer the consequences. Always. And I really pray that you don't understand what the hell I'm talking about. But it will happen if you decide to, listen to your flesh. And you will reap what you sow. All right? Moving on. Where am I? Oh, Salaki, I messed up. All right. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. Oh, Salaki. That's funny. Good night. Yeah, I don't think he did that. Yeah. He was definitely scared of Esau, Amalek. Yeah, I'm sure he didn't kiss Esau in the mouth. All right, but I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, meanwhile, he do got some white so-called white wives or baby mamas, whatever you want to say. And my thing is this, man. He believed in having multiple women, but damn, man, like, why can't you just have all sisters on your team? And why can't some of them just be available women, not women that were taken? Okay, all right, that's insane. And then having babies by these women too is crazy, man. That's some nasty work. Ooh-wee, ew. Good night. All right, let's go ahead and let's keep it going. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments. Now, what does it mean to fear God? Does it mean you got to be terrified and scared? Absolutely not. But of course, yeah, that too. But to fear the Most High means to obey the Most High. Really, when you put it in perspective, when you listen to someone that has authority, that has rule, you fear them in the sense of obedience. You are obedient to them, so you listen. When you listen to somebody that's like, for example, a child listen to their parents. Their parents instill that fear of, look, hey, if you don't touch that stove, it's hot, it's gonna burn you. Like, if you don't listen to what your parents tell you, you will get yourself in trouble. So if you listen to what they say, you fear them. All right, and that's good to fear somebody, because someone can hold you accountable. Someone can watch out for you. Someone can give you all that advice, and someone that really gives a damn about you, you should absolutely have some type of fear in them. Especially if they're telling you the right thing. Why not? Okay, why not? That's why in the ISUPK we have a rank and order system, and we have men that we listen to. Everybody answers to somebody in here, brothers and sisters. All right. And you're always going to hear every 5 seconds, Khan, Adawan, Khan. Sir, yes, sir. That's what that means. It's no different than like a military structure. Same thing. That's really where they got it from. Anything concerning war with the rank and order, it comes from the Bible. Somebody has to listen and answer to somebody. So anytime you get pulled over or are you getting harassed by the police, or you're being questioned by the judge, you fear them. Why? Because your life is in their hands. They show authority. They show power. Yeah, so that's it. So fear the Most High. You want to fear everybody else. You want to fear all these random gods, but you don't want to fear the Most High, the God of Israel. Okay? Yahweh. You don't want to fear him, though. Because I guess the way the Bible is set up, it doesn't fit with how your life is aligned. The Bible doesn't line up to the way that you live your life. Okay? I guess the Bible is always a contradiction, but it's really a contradiction when it contradicts your actions. Every time it goes up against something that you believe in, man wrote that book, the white man wrote it. Now, the white man didn't write the book, but he sure did use it to oppress you. Absolutely. But man did write the book. Absolutely. You think it was God's hands that wrote this book? No. In the Bible, it tells you, what is it? 1 Timothy. I want to say, 1 Timothy, I forget what chapter, where it tells you that, I'm paraphrasing that, the men of God were inspired to write these records. So yes, the men of the Lord wrote this book in inspiration of the Lord. So the Most High is the author, absolutely. Okay? The Most High is the author of this book. So all the scribes that is mentioned in the Bible too, the scribes and, the scholars, yes, they wrote this book. And the Most High approved it. The Most High also is the one where you see the prophecies where it says, and the Most High came unto me and said, behold, that's the Most High. He is telling these men of the Lord what to write in this book. And of course, it's not directly, it's more of the Most High has messengers. All right. So, yeah, anyway, let me see. And keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. So when it says that this is the whole duty of man, just understand that this is the duty for everybody, every man, woman, and child. But in this sense, like, this is the whole duty of man. This is your purpose. This is your focus. This is your life, and this is your death. All right? This is what you have to do all day of your life. It's these laws, statutes, and commandments. And once again, it's a very beautiful thing to see the power of these scriptures. When you apply it, when you live it out your days, out your life. Like it brings so much, how I would say it. It doesn't bring any pain and suffering, but it brings a lot of joy. It brings a lot of just, blessings and rewards in your life. Okay. All right, I'm gonna move on because we got already at 8:20. Time is moving fast on us, man. All right. Give me a second here. Let's go to the next one. Proverbs chapter 21, verse 21. Okay. Let me see. All right. And also, too, if y'all hear any background noise, Salakia, all right, it's some music playing on the other side. I wish they'll turn that shit down. Excuse my language. All right. Proverbs chapter 21, verse 21. He that followeth after righteousness and mercy findeth life. Oh, it's like, hold on. He that followeth after righteousness and mercy findeth life, righteousness and honor. So that's pretty, self-explanatory. This is King Solomon once again. He said, he that followeth after righteousness and mercy findeth life. So what is righteousness? Let's get the dictionary. Okay. 1 second here. Okay, here we go. So let's look up the definition of righteous, because that's the key word, righteous. All right. All right, here we go. Righteous, acting in accord with divine or moral law, free from guilt or sin, morally right or justifiable, arising from an outraged sense of justice or morality. Okay, so in a nutshell, acting in accord with divine or moral law, free from guilt or sin. So it's you doing the right thing. Okay, now there is a such thing as something that is right and wrong when it comes to life. Just think about the law. The law, in the cities and the states and countries that you live in. Okay, now is it morally righteous to covet somebody's possessions, to steal, to covet? Is it morally wrong not to smoke weed, not to do drugs? So it's a balance between what is right and what is wrong, right? But of course, righteousness is really in the word right. So to be righteous is you doing the right thing. That's moral. Okay, it's not, you can't just go off of based on what you think or feel. You have to go based off of what the moral law says. And that's why we have records to show and tell us what we must do and what we must not do. So we know the difference between what is right according to the Lord and what is unrighteous according to the Lord. Okay, and that's how you live your life. Because if you don't know these things, you're going to cause a lot of pain and suffering for yourself. You know how they say growing pains? You know how you're young and you make a whole lot of mistakes, and now when you're older and you're looking back like, dang, I didn't know that was wrong. I thought I was just doing what I was supposed to do. So to avoid that, that's why we have to, for those that are older, for those that have this knowledge now, it's very important that we teach any and everybody, young, old, older, whatever. Okay. Now also too, man, anybody can learn this Bible. Like right now, there are brothers and sisters, man, coming in at, like in their 60s. We got a brother in Minnesota who's in the 60s and joined the school almost 3-4 years ago. Okay. And he's learning about how the Bible says this and how the Bible says that. When this man lived a whole long life of not knowing why this was wrong and why that is right. You know what I mean? So anybody can learn this Bible, man. at any time. Some people come in at a young age. Some people come in later. Okay, some people are born into this truth. Some people are not. But once you receive this truth, all right, of the Bible, you better hold on to it for dear life. You better hold on to it until the chariots come, if you are still around, or until you hit the grave. Okay? Because this right here is going to be your reward when Christ returns. It's going to be your reward, as you're living. And it's going to benefit not just you, but your family. It's going to fix your relationship, your marriage or marriages. It's going to fix the relationship between you and your child. It's going to fix all the things that are broken in your life. Okay? All the things that you went through in life. It's going to fix that. You better believe it, man. I've seen brothers and sisters, man, just them coming into the school and them talking about the way that their life was back in the day before they found this. I've seen brothers and sisters bawl their eyes out. Just bawl their eyes out of tears of joy at the fact that they went through so much pain, so much heartache, so much going to jail, so much of, drug addiction and alcoholism, so much just turmoil. And they finally found something that can actually heal them or has healed them. And that's beautiful, man. That is wonderful. And it's very humbling to see somebody, really be so passionate when it comes to the truth. And the ISUPK is a blessing from the Lord. All right. This sanctuary is amazing. It's a blessing. And Tawada, once again, to Commanding General Yohana for not giving up. And I take my hat off to Commander General Yohana. I'm grateful to know a man like him and know the men under him. That's amazing, man. Because this has really saved lives. Who would imagine, living a lifestyle of you teaching the Bible and you're not a Christian? You actually showing people how it fixes your life and you're not scamming. Imagine that. Imagine actually living by this Bible and not playing around with your life. Imagine that. Imagine where you was back in the world, you was doing all types of evilness. Now you live a life where you don't have to. You don't have to rob. You don't have to do drugs. You don't have to sleep with everybody's woman. You don't have to be an LGBT. Okay? You was probably violated, and you capitalized off of your offender, but you found out that you can fight that demon, and that's not you. You found out that you are not a whore or a whoremonger, that you can live a life of all of that. You don't have to be that because that's not you. Your true potential is to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, to be a child of the Most High, to be a nation again. But of course, the Most High is going to show you your full potential, but you got to work for it. You got to exercise it. And when you keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, you come to class, you build on that knowledge, you listen to the man above you, you brothers and sisters, you are going to see how the Most High is going to use you for the betterment of somebody else, yourself, and just show what you are going to be able to do with your abilities. A lot of people don't know how talented they are because they, how you say it? What's the word? Start with an S when you, suppress, your talents. Okay. Now, look, I notice this, right? I notice this all the time, right? A lot of people that sell drugs are not necessarily uneducated. They're not necessarily ignorant or unintelligent. The problem is they're using their skills, because when I see somebody sell drugs, I see a person who knows how to make money, but they're doing it the wrong way. That's a businessman, but he just did, he took the wrong route. You know what I mean? That's a businessman or a businesswoman. They just took the wrong route of trying to make money. But imagine with all the knowledge that you have as far as selling drugs, how you can flip that narrative and use it for a real business. And that way you don't have to look behind your shoulders. You ain't got to run from the IRS, and you're good. Imagine that. Imagine that. When I see somebody that has been violated, right, in childhood, or has been, SA'd in any type of way, right, and they are in the lifestyle of, the ABC community, right, all I see is that hurt child who is now in their 30s, now in their 40s, in their 50s. That person is just a hurt child who did not have no one to protect them and no one to talk to about getting over that trauma. That's it. That's a hurt person. Someone who, hates their parents, hate their father. They have father issues, daddy issues. They got mommy issues. That is someone who is hurt and who does not know how to let go of that pain. And one thing, too, that we do have in the ISUPK that saves lives is called counseling. And I pray that you understand this. You should get counseling if you need it. It saves lives. All right? I don't know if you know, but counsel does save lives. But this is not the type of therapy that you're going to get from like a licensed therapist. This is it's a biblical counsel. But now there's nothing wrong with therapy, people in the world. There's nothing wrong with that. That does help, but of course, you have to apply it. You feel me? You have to apply it. But the counsel in the ISUPK saves lives. I'll tell you that. No matter what you went through, no matter what problem that you try to throw at us, I bet you 9 times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10, you will be whole if you apply these law, statutes, and commandments. If you listen to the counsel, it will work. It will work. 10 times out of 10, it will work. But you got to put in the work, because also with counsel comes with directions. It comes with a task sometimes. It's not just always just a conversation, but there's something that you may have to work at. It all depends on what you're calling in for, because every counsel is going to be different based on what you're calling about. Okay? All right, moving on. Once again, if anybody got any questions or concerns that I can attack quickly, because we got like 30 minutes left. And once again, my apologies to brothers and sisters, man. Once again, transportation is the devil that the Bible speaks of, all right? And these roads are absolutely not of the Lord. These potholes, good night. These potholes are so bad that, they'll change your damn radio station and your phone number. That's how bad it is, okay? Good night. All right, Proverbs chapter 21, verse 21. He that followeth after righteousness and mercy findeth life. So if you follow after the right thing, right? And I love that movie too, Do the Right Thing by Spike Lee. Because I mean, like that quote, just do the right thing, that's life. That's what you should do. Do the thing that's morally right, even when it hurts you. Sometimes it's hard to do the right thing when you are put in a situation where you feel like you want to do something bad. Like, for example, right? You probably come from a background where somebody is talking crazy to you, and your old self would potentially fight, would harm this person. But the right thing to do is find the best way to de-escalate the situation, but for sure, don't let no one hit you. Don't let no one harm you. Make sure you always defend yourself. If someone is verbally abusing you, defend yourself with your words, okay? And also too, the Bible speaks about how to talk to somebody, like how there's an answer that you can respond. I'm paraphrasing. There are words that you can say that can cause a bigger commotion of an argument or a situation, but there are words that can pacify the situation as well. I believe that might be in Proverbs. I have to double check. But and also too, life and death is in the power of the tongue. Okay, what you say can cause life or it can cause death. What you do in life is the same thing. It can cause, so your everyday decisions, it can cause life or death. So it's better to follow after the moral thing, which is righteousness. Okay. Man, I mean, there's so many examples of things that you may want to do, but you have to fight that feeling. Your flesh is going to scream, it's going to shout, it's going to itch, it's going to burn for you to do something that you should not do, that thing that is against the Lord. And for those that are watching, whatever you battle, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because everybody's situation is different. Everybody battles with something. So you have to correct yourself. You want to try to breathe before you try to, get upset and get mad and you go to the drugs again. You want to breathe for a second. You want to distract yourself. Okay? Don't put yourself also as well. Do not put yourself in a situation or a place where you are vulnerable and you become weak to that thing that you are fighting up against. Like watch yourself. Watch your step. Because if you don't watch where you're stepping, you're going to backslide. Or otherwise, people may become a stumbling block for you. Or some things may become a stumbling block for you. So once again, watch your step. Watch where you are stepping. Because you may misstep and trip and fall. Then it may just be bad for you. Because sometimes people fall and they scrape their knee. Sometimes people fall and they break something. Okay? Sometimes people can fall and they are unalive. People do fall to their demise, if you know where I'm going. So try not to fall. Or don't even try not to fall. You wanna have discipline to not fall. There we go. Ain't no trying nothing. Salakia. Don't fall. Okay? Make sure those boots, them shoes, are laced up tightly. Okay? Make sure there's no room in them shoes, man. Make sure that path that you are walking, make sure you ain't trembling. Make sure you walk straight, not sideways, not to the right, not to the left. Make sure you walk straight and know where you are walking and going into. Because you don't want to go into the wrong place. Now you're in jail. Because, you're hanging around the wrong people. Boom, gun charge. Boom, drugs. Make sure that you know what you are doing in your life. Watch yourself always. And there are going to be men. There are going to be people that are going to watch over you as well to make sure that you are on the right path. And that's somebody that gives a damn about you. That's somebody that cares about you, that absolutely loves you, that wants you to be righteous, that wants you to be on the right path. And that's what comes to following after righteousness. So many things come with it. But more than anything, it gives you life. Like the brother said earlier. And he's damn right. He's absolutely straight. He's absolutely correct on that. These laws, statutes, and commandments, they give you something that you have no idea, man. There are great things that's going to happen for you when you serve the Lord. There are things that you probably asked for, but the Most High is going to give you something that you never even thought to ask for, which is amazing. All you wanted was your family to be safe. You wanted to be a better husband, a better father, but the Most High, he gave you that and some more. All right? But how would you know? How would you know about your full potential? How would you know how great your life would be if you served the Lord? Well, first, you gotta try it out, because all your life you've been nothing but a filthy, disgusting sinner. That's it. You've been garbage all your life. No wonder your attitude stinks. All right? Your life stinks. No one likes you. No one gives a damn about you. No one cares for you. Everyone sees you as a joke. No wonder. Well, if you want that to change, you have to change yourself first. No one is going to do anything for you. You have to put in the work, because faith without works is dead. If you don't fight for what you want, how will you ever get it? No one's not going to hand it to you. Just like a job. If you want to get paid, what do you have to do? You have to work for it. You have to work for it. A man that does not work, he does not eat. That's what it says in the Bible. So if you want to eat, you got to work. Whatever you are hungry for and whatever you want, you got to get it by your own hands and feet, by your own doing. All right? All right, let me see. Okay, he that followeth after righteousness and mercy findeth life, which is correct. Righteousness and honor. So also too, when you serve the Lord and you're doing the work of the Lord, honor is something that comes to brothers all the time. Praise. You know what I mean? Praise is simply just another way of saying a compliment. That's why the Bible says, let not your own, let not thine own mouth praise thee, but let another man praise you. Okay, or thee. Let another man praise thee. And once again, a lot of times when it talks about a he or a he or like let me see. Yeah. Anytime the Bible speaks about like a he, just understand that it still applies to the sisters as well. All right, because this is speaking to mankind, which is male and female. So it's speaking to all of us. All right. So this applies to all of us as being the children of the Most High. Okay. And yeah, it brings honor, man. Okay. Like it looks honorable for a sister to not pour herself out to all these men, but yet she saves herself to only be with one man and one man only until death, unless she becomes a widow and if she decides to remarry. But it's glorious. It's very honorable for a sister to have some dignity, have some morality about herself. And like when I tell you, ever since I was a child, I was always turned off by a woman that I don't mind a female necessarily being loud, because it's in our nature as Black, Hispanic, Native Indians to be loud, but being loud for the wrong reasons, like not even talking loud, just being loud about wickedness. You know what I mean? Just being clamorous in that sense. Okay, just being loud as a monster. Okay, not speaking wisdom, not speaking any knowledge, not saying anything productive. Just speaking like a child, because most children don't know better. So they say whatever comes out their mouth. And sometimes it sounds silly. And that's how a lot of women are that are not guided correctly, that was not raised correctly. But however, Commanding General Yohana, his daughters are not clamorous. They are not simple. These are some heavy-minded sisters. These sisters are One West. They are very hardcore. Good night. And that's because of the men that raised them. The husbands, the fathers, the father figures. Come on, man. Like shout out to those sisters. Like that's glorious. That's honorable. It's so honorable to see a brother who, this brother loves you so much that he will do any and everything for that next brother. And instead of brothers being upset about, let me see, a brother stepping on somebody else's shoes or being jealous of the next brother, no, you can have it. and you ain't got to pay me. All right, you ain't got to pay me nothing. I'll give you these shoes for free, and you ain't got to pay me nothing. I'll give you my jacket. I'll give you my clothes off my body and give it to you. If you're cold, if you need it. Hey, brother. Hey, I know you've been struggling over there with your family in the world. You come stay with me. All right, I'll open up my door with me and my children and my wives. I will open up my door for you because I love you that much and I care about you and I don't want you being distracted by the people in the world. That's love, man. That's honorable. You know, it's honorable to actually possibly get into an argument with a brother and y'all don't throw hands or feet at each other. But instead, if one is offended and y'all happen to go to counsel, y'all become better brothers, more tighter than y'all was before after that counsel. That is honorable. And only because of the law, statutes, and commandments, that's why it happens. Okay? All right. Let's see. Let me move on real quick. We got like 15. All right. Let me see. Where was I? Okay. Oh, James. All right. So we are going to get into James chapter 1, verse 22. All right. Where are we? Hold on, Salakia. Y'all bear with me. James. Okay, James. Here we go. All right. All right. James chapter 1, verse 22. Be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. All right. Hold on, let me see something. Actually, I'm going to go to verse 19 because I forgot about this one. Verse 19, James chapter 1, verse 19. Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. Now, the reason why I pulled this is because of discipline. These laws, statutes, and commandments teach you discipline about yourself, okay? It puts you in a place of accountability. Because if you break these laws, statutes, and commandments, like you have to hold yourself accountable. You have to repent. You have to acknowledge what happened, what you did. But of course, these laws, statutes, and commandments, it kills a lot of sin. It kills the sin, Salakia. These laws, statutes, and commandments unalive the sin. It keeps you from sinning. Because when you're sinning, what are you not doing? You're not keeping the law. So you have the better benefits of keeping the law versus the sin. Because with sin comes death. With the laws come life. All right? Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. Now, listening is an art, is how most brothers may say, right? Which is very true. It's a very true statement. Listening is an art. In order to listen and hear, you must focus in on what is being said. So instead of just yapping and just running your mouth, it's better to listen. This goes for any and everybody. Just listen, take it in, digest, and then speak. Otherwise, if you don't have nothing to say, you can hold your peace, and that's it. Also, too, be slow to wrath. All right, be slow to anger, and we talked about that not too long ago, as far as the brotherhood precepts. You know what I mean? Like you want to be angry and sin not, and don't let the sun go down upon your anger. Ain't no wrong with being upset and mad about something, but don't let it cause you to regret and cause you to sin. All right? You're going to be very careful about how you display your anger. All right, moving on. Verse 20. For the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of God. So there's no righteousness as far as wrath. And you being a man of the Lord, and you're dealing with wrath, I mean, it's not going to work out. You will make a mistake, and you will cause yourself to err. So once again, for the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of God. This is saying that it's not of God. Okay, this is not of the Most High to be a person filled with wrath all the damn time. Okay, as far as evilness, wickedness. Let's see. Verse 21. Wherefore, lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness an engrafted word, which is able to save your souls. So in a nutshell, it's saying you want to separate and remove that filth, remove that naughtiness, or naughtiness, meaning that thing that is corrupt inside of you. Because if you don't remove it, you are going to be distracted and not focus on the thing at hand. And what's the whole duty of man? The law, statutes, and commandments. Put it in the work, raising up this nation. You don't want nothing to get in the way or to corrupt you. Okay? That's what you have to do. All right? And also, too, what did Christ say? If something offends you, like your body, you're supposed to cut it off. At least it devours the entire body. I'm paraphrasing, right? So, for example, if your arm is plagued with a disease, it's infected, you may just have to amputate it. Otherwise, if you don't, it's going to affect the entire body like a virus. That's sin. Sin is a virus because it travels. It's a toxin. All right, just like what's really a cancer, gossiping. Because all that he say, she say, yeah, that spreads like a wildfire because of your mouth. Because you don't know how to tame your tongue. You don't know how to be quiet and shut up, right? You don't know how to speak to a brother or sister when they offend you. You got to learn how to speak to people and learn how to be mature at any age, okay? You got to learn how to be quiet sometimes and shut up, all right? Because you may get yourself in some trouble. You got to be careful, and you can't be wrathful, man. You can't be passive aggressive. If you have a problem with somebody, just speak with them. Let them know. And if it needs to be taken to counsel, take it to counsel. What are you afraid of? It's not the end of the world. Okay? At least, it's not the end of the world. I'm just saying that, all right? I ain't going to add no commentary. All right, verse 22. But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. So when it comes to the Most High, and this job that you have to do, just like everybody else has to do that are Israelites, you have to be a doer of the word, meaning you have to put in the work. If you say that you do the work of the Lord, you have to show some work. You got to show hours. You got to show time. Okay? You got to show the work. You can't just say that you're doing X, Y, and Z and you have no record of it. That's why also, too, when it comes to, any type of you reporting, every city in the ISUPK, we all have a job to do, and we all have to report on the status of what we have been doing in our individual places, established schools. We have to have a report about it. Okay? So you want to be a doer of the work of the Lord. All right? And not a hearer. Don't just listen to a class and think that you are in the truth. No, you are not. Because what work have you put in? Are you even a part of the ISUPK? Or are you just a student? Now, ain't nothing wrong with being a student. There's nothing wrong with being a civilian either. But if you say to anybody that you are putting in work, just know if it's not in the ISUPK, you're not putting in work according to the school. You're putting in work on your own time, on your own doing. All right? And really, it doesn't matter to us because who do you report to? Because everybody answers to somebody once again. So don't be a hearer of the truth. Don't just hear about it online for years of your life and think that you can keep the law, statutes, and commandments at home, being a individualite. No, you have to get active, because there ain't such thing as an individualite. And also, too, in the school, we teach you how to keep the law, statutes, and commandments correctly. We show you how to do that, because these generals of the UPK are trained professionals and ordained by the Lord. All right. So, in deceiving your own selves, right. So you don't want to deceive yourself. Don't think that you're in the ISUPK because you got UPK attire. You know how to break down some scriptures. That doesn't mean nothing. Anybody can break down a scripture, but it's all about, once again, that work. Where's your works at? Okay, that's cool and fine that you could break down a precept, but where's your works at? What have you done for your nation? And who do you report to? Are you doing this in your name or someone else's name? That's the question. So you want to make sure that you don't deceive yourself. All right? You want to be very serious about that. Don't deceive yourself, man. Okay, now you can be a fan or you can follow the ISUPK. Absolutely, that's not a problem. All right? But if you are not an officer, if you are not a trooper, all right, if you are not in these ranks, you are not putting in the work of the Lord according to this school. And take that however you will. All right. So let me see. With that being said, I'm gonna end it right there. We are going to get into the prayers. I want to say Thawada to everybody that tuned in and who engaged as well. And let me see. Nowhere in the Bible does it say for a brother or sister to be individualized. Exactly. That's exactly my point. He's on top of it. Absolutely. That is absolutely right. Okay. So, all right. With that being said, I majum, which means to stand. Okay. Oops. All right. Straight. All right. ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves to the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21. Malachi chapter 3, 8 through 10 means tenth in the Hebrew, Mayashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund. It's a free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocation. So, all right, if anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boot, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. With that being said, we already said Imagine, Wapani Hafudan, which means to face the east. I want everybody to repeat after me, all right? The Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawi, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shukah, Yahweh, Malachwatka, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Asher, Ba'aratazah, Kawah, Hayah, Bashamayim, Nathalanawa, Lakum, Kol, Yawam, Wasalak Manawa, Waknawa, Kasalaknawa, Wakanawa, Wala'a, Taba'anawa, Manasaya one of all, Awashinawa, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wa'ala, Watafarak, La Awalamya, Aman, in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh, thy kingdom come, that will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. So be it. Amen. Bless Israel in Hebrew, Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Barak Manawa, Wayasha'ala, Wahabayah, Sakari, Barak, Raka'ah, Magan, Hagan. Say the name of loved ones once. Everyone repeats the name once. For those that have loved ones that you want to pray for, you can type their names into the chat. All right? Otherwise, let's see here. In the school, bless him, show, protect loved ones. In the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you, so be it. ISUPK power structures. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, and all things living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, listen to us now, right now. Send evils and curses and punishment and instruction to the heathen that speak against us, like prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school. Send evils and curses and punishment and instruction to the heathen, and shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel that refuse to give to the school. Force their riches to enter thy sanctuary. Send evils and curses and punishment and instruction to the heathen, and to the Edomites, and the nations, and their drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, Pazi Kamatazi, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, Nazi space programs, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street, open up the internet and the airwaves, the cable access channels, and the radio channels. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us, and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way, and try to stop us from broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues, cause to go to and fro, through the earth be consume you. Let the place hit the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahweh Shai, Michael, and Gabriel come down to flying saucers and punish all the heathens that come up against us. As we speak thy word, cause to be known by all that is an angel that done this. Cause it to be spread through the media, throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you always. So be it. All right, Sar, which means to turn in Hebrew. All right. Minne Israel, my Shabbat, and my Barak, Yahweh Shemel Shabrakatham, Yazmatah, courtesy salute for the sisters. Minne Israel, my Shabbat, and my Barak, Yahweh Shemel Ataba Shemel Shah, Yazmatah, class dismissed. All right, shalom, Israel. Pay them damn tithes, man. Shalom. That's not how it should be, man. This scripture that Christ had told his disciples is how you stop crime as a whole. Because when you go to him and him alone, and for you sisters out there who love the beef and who don't like to talk to another woman about, how she, treated you, you sisters need to go to her alone as well.
Nobody is holding you accountable for the things that you say you were doing or not doing. There's no, like the scriptures say, everything should be done in decency and in order.
That's right.
There's no order and decency with you going on the internet and running in the streets with no guidance, without being sent, without being anointed by the man of the Lord, by being sent by a man of God out there on them streets. You must be sent.
When you hear us say salute, Shalom, Yahweh Shem Shabrakatah, right? That is Hebrew. Okay? Shalom, Shalom, that is not Hebrew. I don't know where you learned that from. Most likely from Esau, from the Jewish. On the street corners. And we ain't selling dope, but we are teaching you how to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. We are teaching you how to not be a drug addict and a drug dealer.
Right.
how to keep you out of prison, how to not make you a target for Esau to use.